Which characters from Avatar: The Last Airbender went on to appear in The Legend of Korra? Though the original Avatar series ended after 3 seasons in 2008 and got a movie in 2010, its story has continued in graphic novel form, and the follow-up series The Legend of Korra debuted in 2012. So let's get to bending. I'm Greg Elliott with Screen Rant, and here's every Last Airbender character that returned in The Legend of Korra. Nickelodeon's Avatar debuted in 2005 and followed the adventures of its 12-year-old hero Aang, the last living airbender and the current incarnation of the Avatar, who has to master the art of bending the other elements of water, earth, and fire in order to bring balance to the world and end the Fire Nation's war on the Four Nations. The Legend of Korra is set 7 decades after the end of the original show and follows the rebellious and headstrong 17-year-old Korra as she trains to master the elements as the new Avatar. And even without it being on Netflix yet, fans will find many familiar faces in The Legend of Korra, starting off with the Last Airbender himself, Aang.
What are you doing here, Aang?
The Avatar's rebirth cycle naturally meant that Aang had died before the beginning of The Legend of Korra, but being the previous Avatar gave him a direct spiritual connection to her, and he occasionally appeared in spirit form to provide her with guidance. And Aang's predecessors as the Avatar, the Fire Nation-born Roku and the Earth Nation-born Kyoshi, also had the same connection to her and also appeared in the new show as well. Aang's wife Katara also appears in the show, mentoring Korra in waterbending, and is one of only 3 members of Team Avatar to still be alive in the newer show. And like Aang, Katara's older brother Sokka died before the beginning of The Legend of Korra, but was still seen as an adult through flashbacks, and they built a statue honoring him outside the Southern Water Tribe Cultural Center.
I can't believe it. Toph?
From the returning characters of the original show and the second of the 3 still living members of Team Avatar, Aang's blind earthbending friend Toph Bei Fong set up the metal-bending police force of Republic City and eventually retired and settled in Foggy Swamp, which is where she later met Korra. And the last of the 3 Team Avatar members still alive in The Legend of Korra is Zuko, the firebending master who went on to become Fire Lord. He was one of the founders of the United Republic of Nations at the end of the war and eventually stepped down as Fire Lord, handing over the throne to his daughter Azumi.
It's time for you to look inward and begin asking yourself the big questions. Who are you? And what do you want?
Zuko's guide and father figure on Avatar, Uncle Iroh, also appeared in The Legend of Korra, even though he was no longer alive. He transitioned into the spirit world after his death and was seen there as his old fun-loving self. Zuko's grandson, General Iroh, was named after him, with Zuko's original voice actor Dante Basco voicing him in The Legend of Korra. Zuko's major rival in Book 1 of Avatar, Zhao, was also seen in the newer series despite his supposed death on Avatar. Turns out he'd been taken to the spirit world and imprisoned within the Fog of Lost Souls, which caused him to go completely mad.
I know you're back there.
And Wan Shi Tong, the wise and ancient giant owl that guarded the spirit library in The Last Airbender, also returned for The Legend of Korra when Tenzin's daughter Jinora entered the library seeking knowledge about the spirit portals. And I think that's it. With The Last Airbender now on Netflix, many fans of the show are taking a trip down memory lane while newcomers are getting to discover the series for the first time. And both will find many familiar faces in The Legend of Korra, which as of yet is not on the streaming service. But since sometimes the best way to solve your own problems is to help someone else, we'll make sure to let you know when it is. So keep coming back to Screen Rant to stay in the airbending loop. I'm Greg Elliott, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.